Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 p.m. Cairo local time. This is Shrouk Bakir. I'll accompany you through the latest development in the region and internationally, starting off with the headlines, followed with the details. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi issues a decree pardoning inmates on the occasion of Eid al-Adha. 8 Palestinians killed and several more wounded in pre-dawn Israeli occupation airstrikes. And the Russian force launches a barrage of 367 drones and missiles at the Ukrainian cities overnight. Welcome back. The official newspaper published Presidential Decree number 262 for the year 2025, issued by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, granting a pardon for certain convicts on the occasion of Eid al-Adha, the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, 1446. On his social media account, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said that as we are celebrate Africa Day on the 25th of May, the Day of Unity and Solidarity, this day symbolizes the aspiration of the African nations for a bright future and sustainable development. He added that Egypt, which is deeply rooted in the African history, reaffirms its unwavering commitment to constructive cooperation, strengthen development efforts, and promote peace across the entire continent. The president added that we shall build a brighter and more prosperous tomorrow for the people of Africa. His Excellency wished that Africa shall stand strong, united, and steadfast in its pursuit on this progress. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed that the Egyptian-American Economic Forum is focused on reviewing Egypt's efforts to enhance the role of the private sector and achieve sustainable and comprehensive development goals. During his speech in the forum, he said that Egypt has taken tangible steps to create a suitable environment for economic reforms. He cited that the launch of the state's property title as a driver for the reforms, saying it aims to limit the government's involvement in fields of interest to investors. He also said that the Economic Forum reflects the strategic importance of the economic cooperation between Egypt and the U.S., a relation, he said, is based on productive partnership. Madbouli retreated that Egypt has proven its weight as a reliable and influential partner with the U.S. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli received today Vice President of Exxon International Mobile Explorations Company, John Ardell. Prime Minister asserted that Exxon Mobil Company is a strategic partner of Egypt in the energy sector, praising the company's activities in oil and gas sector in the Egyptian market. Prime Minister said that the meeting aims to review the future cooperation opportunities with international company. Madbouli also stressed that his readiness to provide all possible support to the international company to accelerate the drilling process in 2 regions. The Madbouli confirmed that President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi says and pays great attention to natural gas exploration projects and has directed to facilitate the procedures for these projects. On his part, ExxonMobil's Vice President affirmed that the company is accelerated its efforts to complete drilling work in the Mediterranean. Minister of Foreign Migrations and Expatriates, Badr Abdelati heads to the Spanish capital, Madrid, to participate in the expanded ministerial meeting of the Madrid Group over the Palestinian cause. The meeting is due to tackle international efforts to end the war on Gaza, the catastrophic humanitarian situation in the Strip, and mobilizing international support to recognize the Palestinian state. Implementing the two-state solution also tops the agenda of the meeting. Moving to Gaza, 8 Palestinians were killed and several more wounded in pre-dawn Israeli occupation airstrikes in the north and center of the Palestinian territory today. Civil defense. The United Nations chief said that more than a dozen food trucks were loaded following the partial easing of a lengthy Israeli blockade. Aid and was just beginning to trickle back into the war-torn territory after Israel announced it would allow limited shipments to resume as it pressed a newly expanded offensive aimed at destroying Hamas. Gaza Civil Defense Agency officials told AFP at least 71 people were killed, while dozens of injuries and a large number of missing persons under the rubble have been reported as a result of Israel airstrikes on Friday. The Israeli occupation military said today that it had intercepted a missile launched from Yemen towards Israel. The military said earlier sirens sounded in several areas in the country since the start of the Israeli-Hamas war in October 2023. Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis have continued to fire missiles at Israel in what they say is a solidarity with Palestinians' Gaza. Most of the group's missiles have been intercepted or have been falling short. The Houthis did not immediately comment on the latest missile launch, but Syria's new authorities have agreed to help the United States locate and return Americans who went missing in the war-torn country. U.S. Special Envoy for Syria Tom Barak wrote on X today that the new Syrian government has agreed to assist the U.S. in locating and returning USA citizens on their remains, describing it as a powerful step forward. The announcement came a day after the United States formally lifted sanctions on Syria, marking the start of a new chapter in the previously fraught ties between the two countries. Russian forces launched a barrage of 367 drones and missiles at Ukraine cities overnight, including the capital Kiev, in the largest aerial attack of the war so far, killing at least 12 people and injuring dozens. More details.
Russian forces.
Welcome back. Moving to the economy, executive president of the General Authority for Investment and Free Zones, Hussam Hiba, reviewed with a delegation of Borna Company, a leading Canadian clean tech giant, steps to establish a facility to manufacture flare gas recovery systems and carbon separations technologies. The meeting also discussed the incentives offered for investment activities in Egypt, as well as new solutions for the Egyptian natural gas network. The Canadian company said it will invest $40 million in the natural gas separation and carbon capture facility in Egypt. Egypt's bourse closed higher today, aimed at purchases by local investment funds and corporations against sell-offs by Arab and foreign investment funds. The market capital of listed companies added 9 billion Egyptian pounds, exceeding 2.2 trillion pounds at the end of the first session of the week transaction. The benchmark index EGX 30 rose 0.15% above the 32,002 23-point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 0.66% and 0.61% respectively. And moving to the sports, Walid El-Karti equalized in stoppage time to earn Pyramids of Egypt's 1-1 draw away to Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa in the CAF Champions League final. First leg, Sundowns had taken the lead after 54 minutes through Brazilian Lucas Ribeiro, and the teams clash again on June 1st in Cairo, with Sundowns seeking to win the Premier African Club competition a second time and Pyramids for the first time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we came to the end of this political and economy and sports edition. That was Michel Boukir. Thank you for watching.